This is question number 31. Okay, question number 31 says Samir left home at 12 noon. He goes for a cycle ride. The travel graph represents part of Samir's journey. Okay, I put a couple of facts here that might be useful for you to remember and know. So some additional knowledge: speed is equal to distance over time, and 8 kilometers is equal to 5 miles. You don't need those in this question, but they're useful to know for the exam. They could come up in various questions of different sorts. So let's go through this first, right? I know that Samir left home at 12 noon, right? And if I look at the travel graph, I've got 12 noon there. He travels, he goes for a cycle ride. The travel graph represents Samir's journey. At 12:45, Samir stopped for a rest. Now, let's look at the scale. It's important in all of these questions that you actually pay close attention to the scale. This scale here, from 12 noon to 1 o'clock, is split up into 4 sections. So that's going to be 12:15, that's going to be 12:30, that's going to be 12:45, and that's 1 o'clock as indicated there. So in the question they said at 12:45, go up to the graph, Samir stopped for a rest. For how many minutes did he rest? So I'm looking at the size of that gap there, and that gap goes from 12:45 to 1, right? That's 15 minutes. That should be pretty straightforward for you, and then you enter that into the answer space. Really straightforward, 1 mark. Make sure you understand it and can do it. Part B, find his distance from home at 1:30 p.m. Okay, so we need to find out where 1:30 p.m. is. So there's 1 p.m., 1:15, 1:30 is going to be over there. Okay, draw a line from there to your graph, right? So go up to the travel graph. The distance from home is going to be how much you read across. Do think about this, right? Some people make hard work of this, use 0.5 values. What's halfway between 14 and 15? 14 and 16? It is 15. So he's 15 kilometers. Do pay close attention again to the scale and the units used. So my answer is 15 kilometers. They put kilometers in the answer space, right? So do look out for that. That gives you a hint as well. Okay, the next part of the question, Samir stopped for another rest at 2 p.m. So at 2 p.m. he stopped for a rest again. He rested for 1 hour. Okay, he cycled home at a steady speed, and it took him 2 hours to get home. Anyway, if we look over here, that's where he's going to stop for a rest, and that is at 2 p.m. They've told us that. He stops for a rest until 3 p.m. How do I know that? Because they said that he stopped for a rest at for 1 hour. Okay, so over here he's resting for 1 hour. If I go up, 1 hour is going to be 4 of those sections, so he's going to rest until there. Okay, so if I put my line in there, that line, a lot of people get that, right? Be careful with the scale, make sure you understand it. He then cycled home at a steady speed, and it took him 2 hours. So at 3 p.m. he stops resting, and then he travels home, and it takes him 2 hours to get home. So he gets home at 5 p.m. and I need to draw a line from where he stopped to rest, and that's his return journey home. Okay, it's a straight line because he traveled at a steady speed. That's his bit, and you'll get 2 marks for doing that bit. 1 mark for each section. Make sure you can do it and you do fully understand it. So that's us completing the travel graph. Find his average speed on his return journey home. Now, speed is equal to distance over time. Okay, and his return journey home is the section from here to here. Okay, so I'm looking at that bit there, from there to there, those 2. How long did he take? How much time did he take? The question told us that he took 2 hours. Okay, and how far did he travel? Well, when he started returning home, he was 20 kilometers from home. So he traveled back 20 kilometers. So the distance was 20 kilometers. It took him 2 hours to travel back. 20 divided by 2 is 10. 10 kilometers per hour was his average speed on his way home. This is a really straightforward form of a travel graph, right? There are more complicated forms. Look at the takeaway. Do some more questions there. Make sure you fully understand it. If you get something very, very similar to this, you need to be able to get full marks in it.